Hello, everyone. This is Jay Dobbins of the official Marvel DC Multiverse. We are now at episode 462, and I'll be discussing one topic, which is the Punisher Suicide Run will be a moneymaker if Marvel Studios does it. So, for those who don't read the Punisher comics, there is a 1994 edition. I would say it's called Suicide Run. So Punisher Suicide Run is a comic book series. I believe it's 12 issues. It might be more, but however, it focuses on not just Frank Castle's Punisher, but also, I would say, at least 7 more Punishers. So, for example, you have Hitman, Desmond Cline. You have Rapido, Payback, Outlaw, Lynn Michaels, who's a female Punisher, and then you have You Punisher. And let's not forget the tech guy, Micro. So all of them are pretty much in the Suicide Run series, which is, the Punisher series, of course. I think that this will be a huge moneymaker because if you read the comics, these are some bad cats, man. Hitman's cold-blooded. Rapido's cold-blooded. He has amputated his right arm is amputated, so he uses his right arm, as a Gatling gun, which is pretty cool. Then you have Payback, who's, I guess he's an anti-Punisher, but he's cold-blooded as well. He wears a mask, almost like Casey Jones, and he has a brace on his leg. And then you have Outlaw, who's a black Punisher. He's British, I guess, but he idolizes the Punisher, so we wanted to carry on with his legacy. Then you have Lynn Michaels, who's a female Punisher. She's cold-blooded as well. Then you have Visual, which is an acronym, but they're not carrying on the legacy of the Punisher. They're more of anti-Punisher, pretty much. And then you have You Punisher, who's using the brand, as clout to kind of, build a name for himself. So, and then you also have Desmond Cline, who's, I guess he's an incompetent Punisher, but I guess they call him the Fat Punisher. As far as he's not an expert marksman, but I wouldn't underestimate him because his aim's not good, but I'm pretty sure he'll hit his target. So, but then of course Frank Castle, who's the main Punisher. So, but having all of them, you're not only going to get you might get maybe if they do it, it's probably going to be either a movie starring John Bernthal, or it might be a few more seasons. Because he only has 2 seasons of the Punisher on Netflix, which is now on Disney Plus. But now you're probably gonna have at least a few more seasons. The Punisher, if they do the Suicide Run series, which is gonna be perfect because it's more of Frank Castle out there, pretty much. So, and then speaking of which, I met John Bernthal at Planet Comic Con about in March 8th of this year. So this, I would say 3 months ago, yeah. So about 3 months ago, I met John Bernthal on March 8th, which was on a Friday, at Planet Comic Con, which is in Kansas City. I took took a selfie with him. It was like $80, but it was worth it. I did post it on my Instagram, so you can check it out on the link below to my Instagram. Not my personal Instagram, not the Marvel DC Multiverse Instagram. But I did tell him that. I mean, I did tell him that they should do that Marvel Studios should do a Suicide Run, series, because it's a huge moneymaker, and it's. I also told him that that you got Punishers like not just him, but you have other Punishers like Payback, Outlaw, Lynn Michaels, Rapido, Desmond Klein, and then let's not forget Hitman. I told him that Hitman is the one that he might have to look out for sure. And obviously he agreed. Well, he said he's like, yeah. He's like, obviously he knows about the Suicide Run series, which I didn't think he knew. But obviously he knows about it. He must have read the comics or something. But yeah, he agreed with me when I told him that they should do a Suicide Run series or have a show based off of the Suicide Run series, which is a huge moneymaker because, I mean, people are already fan of John Berthel's Punisher. But with the Suicide Run series, and if they stick to the source material, it's a huge moneymaker. We're talking about over 20 million views. Might get 30 or 40. And then, depending on how long the series is, depending on how long the Suicide Run series is, they will determine how many seasons they can do. Because they have a lot of source material in this here that they can go on. They might either, they might either focus on all of them, or they might do like each season might focus on one at a time. Or all of them might appear in the series altogether. But we don't know. But yeah, Hitman's cold-blooded though. That's the Punisher that Castle got to watch out for sure. And then you got Vigil, who are probably going to be enemies, since they're anti-Punishers anyway. So, yeah. And then, of course, let's not forget Micro. Obviously, Micro is going to be helping either Frank Castle or all the Punishers. So, but yeah, for those who don't know, Google Punisher Suicide Run. It's a 1994. It's a comic book series. It's a Punisher comic book series that was done and published in 1994. So then I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the 1994 Punisher better than the recent one. The recent one, I don't like the latest Punisher that they did because the symbol's not accurate. It's a different symbol. They changed the characteristics and the traits. I don't like that. So I like to stick with the old stuff. It's a lot better. But yeah, I think they might have something, maybe. But I hope that John, Berthel, talks to Marvel Studios about it, because I told him at his booth, I was like, hey man, I hope you do a Suicide Run series, because that's a huge moneymaker, and on top of that, it's more than just you out there. There's more of you out there, not just you. You're not the only Punisher. And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, oh, because when he told me that, when his response was, I mean, that's how he responded, because his response was, yeah, I know. And I was like, oh wow, he does know. So, yeah, I'm glad he knows, because shoot, this is it, man. This could be a moneymaker, and they can keep the show going. Because if you see the graphic novel's, it's big. It's pretty much all 12 issues in one book. So yeah, I'm about to order that myself. So, but yeah, that's all I could say, for this. But I'm gonna be on the lookout for that, and hopefully they do it. So, but that concludes this topic. Feel free to follow us on Instagram. We're available on iTunes, Google Play Music app, Spotify, Twitch, and of course YouTube.